stop everything and listen, not casually, but with the intensity of a man who has vowed never to struggle again. If you truly absorb what I'm about to say, if you listen with hunger and stay fully present, if you return to this message daily and let it soak deep into your subconscious until it begins to think for you, then hear me clearly. You will attract more money than you can spend. And it won't shock you, it won't confuse you, it won't overwhelm you, because it will be the outcome of something greater than effort, greater than education. It will be the outcome of law. Money does not come to the busiest man. It does not come to the neediest. It does not even come to the most deserving. Money comes to the man who has trained his mind to expect it, hour by hour, day after day, without apology, without contradiction, and without fail. A man poor in wallet is first poor in thought, but a man rich in mind cannot stay broke for long. This is not mere hope. This is not wishful thinking. This is spiritual law, immutable, invisible, and accessible to you, if you listen as if your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. What follows is not motivation. This is not entertainment. This is instruction. This is the blueprint to attract more wealth than you've ever imagined if you are bold enough to believe. So I say to you, turn off the noise, silence every doubt, give yourself wholly to this teaching, because when it ends, you will not think like the average man. You will walk differently, speak differently, expect differently, and money will feel that change, and it will come. Introduction. Riches begin in the mind. If you don't yet attract wealth, it's not because you are unworthy. It's because your mind is not yet ready to receive it. Wealth does not appear by accident, nor does it gather around the man who simply works harder than others. It flows to the man who has prepared the soil of his mind, who believes in wealth, expects it, commands it. Money is not emotional. It doesn't respond to your pain or pity or effort. It responds only to belief, to clarity, to confidence. I've studied thousands, rich men, poor men, drifting men, and the difference was never luck, never schooling. It was always belief, always consciousness. You must understand this now. Money is drawn to thought, not random thought, sustained, definite, emotionalized thought. Your present wealth or lack of it is a perfect mirror of what you've habitually believed is possible for you. If your pockets are empty, it's because your belief system has leaks. This is not punishment. This is the law. Wealth is not earned by toil alone. Millions labor harder than the wealthy, yet receive a fraction of the reward. Why? Because wealth is born first in the mind. It begins with self-image, with faith, with expectancy. And if those elements are missing, no amount of hustle will bridge the gap. Confusion repels money. Vagueness clogs the subconscious. If you say you want wealth, but feel unworthy, speak against it, or secretly resent those who have it, the law responds in kind. You cannot grow a tree by poisoning its roots. You cannot welcome wealth while cursing its presence. Riches do not answer the man who begs. They answer the man who commands, through clarity, belief, and decision. And this power to command does not come from arrogance. It comes from understanding, from harmony with truth, from choosing to believe that wealth is your rightful state, not someday, but now. If you're ready to become rich beyond measure, if you're ready to demand abundance from life, not with greed, but with spiritual certainty, then listen now with your whole being. What follows is not a list of suggestions, it is a sequence of laws. Each law is a rung on the ladder of abundance. Miss one and you fall. Obey them and the vaults of fortune will open to you. This speech won't just inform you, it will rewire you. If you listen daily and let the sound of wealth replace the whisper of poverty in your subconscious, then I promise you, money will begin to come, so much of it, so freely. You'll wonder where it's been hiding all this time. It was never hiding. It was waiting, waiting for you to stop doubting, waiting for you to rise, waiting for you to believe like never before. And now it waits no longer. Repeat this. I am the architect of wealth. I believe, I demand, I attract. Again, I am the architect of wealth. I believe, I demand, I attract. Now we begin with the first great law. Part 1. Money comes to the man who expects it. There is a law, cold, unbending, that governs the flow of wealth. No man becomes rich until he first expects to become rich. Expectation is not a shallow wish. It is not the feeble hope of a man crying to the sky in desperation. It is the quiet certainty of the one who knows money is his servant, not his master. Wealth consciousness is the root of all riches. Without it, a man may labor for 50 years and have nothing but the calluses on his hands. With it, another may work a decade and draw in more than he could spend in 10 lifetimes. The difference is not effort. It is inner certainty. It is belief. Wealth consciousness is a state of expectation. It sees the future not with fear, but with confidence, not with lack, but with increase, not with delay, but with arrival. It is not arrogance to expect riches. It is alignment with law. You don't apologize for expecting gravity to hold you. Why apologize for expecting the law of abundance to obey your belief? Understand this. Money cannot resist belief. It follows belief as surely as a shadow follows light. The man who carries expectation in his heart causes events, people, and opportunities to align. He may not see it instantly, but the universe is already bending to his certainty. Most men repel money unconsciously. They speak of wealth with jealousy. They criticize the rich. They fear money, doubt it, worship it, or resent it. They say money doesn't matter while secretly wishing they had more. That contradiction poisons their subconscious. It builds a wall between their effort and their reward. You must become a man who expects money as naturally as he expects breath. You must treat money not as a prize, but as a partner, one that walks beside you as long as you walk in purpose, clarity, and service. Do not shrink in money's presence. Do not tremble in its absence. Speak to it as a commander does to his trusted ally. Henry Ford didn't stumble into billions. He carried billions in his consciousness before they ever touched his hands. He didn't ask, can this be done? He said, it will be done. When his engineers said a V8 engine couldn't be built, he told them, build it anyway. And because he expected it, it appeared. Expectation is not emotion. It is not desperation. It is internal government. It is decision made solid. It is thought fused with conviction. Expecting riches leaves no room for contradiction. You do not believe one day and doubt the next. You do not ask permission from lesser minds. You decide, hear me plainly, if you are poor in wallet, you must become rich in thought. Your life right now is a mirror of your inner world. If your world is small, grow bigger inside. If your world is chaotic, get ordered inside. If it's lacking, expand your belief inside. You are not bound by your past, not by your birth, not by the economy or education. These are excuses of small minds. You are held back only by what you believe is possible for you. Now say this with fire. I am not afraid of wealth. I welcome it. I expect it. I deserve it. Say it again. I am not afraid of wealth. I welcome it. I expect it. I deserve it. The world cannot argue with the man who believes. Doors will open. Opportunities will find you. Ideas will rise. People will align. Momentum will gather, not from magic, but from mental law. But this law demands discipline. Feed it daily. Protect it from the termites of fear and doubt. Walk with wealth in your tone, in your stance, in your vision before it arrives, especially before it arrives. That is the test. No more small talk about poverty. No more guilt about success. No more shrinking around wealth. You are not the outsider. You are not the exception. You are the one who has chosen to rise. And now that you know the law, never speak against it again. Write this down. Post it where you'll see it daily. Repeat it every morning. Money is drawn to my belief. I expect increase. I expect reward. I expect riches in great abundance. Hold this thought with fire for 30 days, and your outer world will reflect the inner flame you've ignited. At first it will whisper, a conversation, a connection, a choice, but it will grow, and when the law answers, it never turns back.
Part 3. Desire is the spiritual magnet for money. Desire is the flame that breathes life into wealth. It is the source of creation, the birthplace of achievement, the fuel behind every fortune. Without burning desire, riches do not arrive, not because they cannot, but because they have not been summoned with enough intensity to be drawn into your world. Desire is not a whisper. It is a war cry. It is not passive. It is not polite. It is a spiritual force, emotionalized, focused, and fixed in the mind, that refuses to let a man sleep until his aim is fulfilled. Where there is no desire, there is no drive, and where there is no drive, there is no destiny. You must distinguish casual want from consuming desire. One drifts, the other conquers. The world is full of men who say they want wealth, yet carry poverty in their hearts. They speak of riches, but dream of comfort. They want safety, not greatness, and life gives them what they truly expect, little. Desire is spiritual, and when it is fused with service, definiteness, and faith, it becomes obsession. Not the weak kind of obsession, but the kind that wakes you before dawn, that burns your chest with purpose, that moves your body into action before the rest of the world stirs. Look at Andrew Carnegie. His fortune was not an accident. He was consumed with a desire, not just for wealth, but to build, to create, to elevate. He chose men with burning desire. He dismissed brilliance without fire. Why? Because desire is the only force that transforms vision into value. When desire burns within a man, the world begins to rearrange. Circumstances shift. People align. Obstacles bow to the one who refuses anything less than the object of his vision. The universe has no defense against the man who will not be denied. Desire sharpens your senses. It makes you alert. It lets you see doors others overlook. It unlocks energy others can't access. It moves mountains, not through strength but through fire. But this fire must be governed. A wildfire consumes. A focused flame builds. Your desire must be anchored to your definite chief aim. It must be written, spoken, felt, visualized with intensity, pursued with action, not idle fantasy. Don't ask if you're ready. Burn until you become ready. The very presence of desire proves you're worthy. The fire in you is life calling you forward. Do not smother it with fear or delay. Feed it, fan it, fuel it until it roars. Now say this: I burn with lawful desire. I attract by emotional intensity and decision. Again, louder. I burn with lawful desire. I attract by emotional intensity and decision. Every man who has ever built enduring wealth did not do it by wishing. He did it through relentless desire. Think of Thomas Edison. 10,000 failed experiments, 10,000 nights of darkness. But his desire for light never dimmed. He saw the end before anyone else, and that desire lit his way. This is spiritual law. What you desire with faith, you attract with force. What you obsess over with clarity, you magnetize into existence. And what you tolerate becomes your life. So tolerate nothing but the realization of your desire. Do not grow soft with time. Do not shrink your vision to appease others. Let your heart blaze. Let your imagination feast on the image of success. Let repetition engrave that image into your subconscious until it becomes the only reality you recognize. If your desire begins to fade, return to your aim. Speak it, reignite it, refocus your plan, but never replace your purpose. Once desire is lit, it must be guarded, or it will be stolen by the cold hands of average thinking. Burn higher, burn longer, burn until you forget the man you once were. Write this and post it boldly. My burning desire is sacred. I give it daily fuel. I speak it aloud. I act upon it. I refuse to live without its fulfillment. Desire is the invitation. Action is the reply. You cannot burn and remain still. The man who burns must move. He must build. He must work. And in doing so, he becomes not only rich but great. So I ask you now, what do you desire so deeply that it would shame you to abandon it? Because until your desire reaches that temperature, wealth will not take you seriously. But once it does, once you declare it with persistence, certainty, and fire, nothing on this earth can stop it from finding you. Part 4, Autosuggestion. Speak riches into your reality. Desire without direction is chaos. Belief without repetition is weak. But when burning desire is joined with autosuggestion, the spiritual becomes physical. Understand this: your subconscious mind is the bridge between your desire and its manifestation. Autosuggestion is the vehicle that carries your words across that bridge. Most men try to change their world without first changing the instructions they give to their subconscious mind. That's why they remain broke. They beg for change but feed their minds with doubt, hesitation, and fear. Life does not respond to your wishes. It responds to your deepest instruction. The subconscious does not know sarcasm. It does not filter contradiction. It accepts what you repeat, especially what is spoken aloud with emotion. If you keep saying, "I can't afford that," or "That's too expensive," or "I hope things change someday," your subconscious accepts that as law, and the world follows its lead. But if you wake each morning with a declaration spoken with intensity, with vision, with absolute belief, your subconscious changes. It begins to serve you. It adjusts your habits, your attention, your behaviors to align with the wealth you have spoken. That is autosuggestion, the intentional programming of the subconscious mind through repeated, emotionalized speech. The man who masters this becomes a master of his environment. He is no longer tossed by storms. He becomes the one who commands the winds. There is a formula. I did not invent it. I discovered it in every wealthy life I studied. Write your definite chief aim. Speak it aloud. Visualize it as already yours. Feel it in your body. Repeat it morning and night without fail until it becomes identity. That is the process. And if you are too proud, too lazy, or too skeptical to do it, then let me be blunt. Wealth will ignore you. It will find a home in the minds of those disciplined enough to train belief like an athlete trains muscle. Don't trust your thoughts. Train them. Don't wait for your mood. Speak over it. Don't wait until you feel ready. Declare until you become ready. Repetition becomes belief, and belief moves the world. Every morning before the world touches you, stand alone. Breathe deeply. Hold your written name in your hand. Read it aloud, not like a man begging, but like a man commanding. Speak until you feel it. Speak until you see it. Speak until your subconscious accepts it as truth. Then repeat at night. The last thought before sleep is the seed planted in the soil of the subconscious. Water it with repetition. Protect it with conviction. And allow infinite intelligence to do what it does best. Turn thought into form. W. Clement Stone understood this. He built an empire by feeding his subconscious daily. Every day he said, "I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific." He knew that emotion obeys speech, that belief is shaped by repetition, that fear is evicted by faith-filled declarations. You must do the same, not later, not someday, now, today. Begin reprogramming the mind. Tear out every phrase of doubt. Plant phrases of power. Stop speaking of what isn't. Begin speaking of what will be. Say this now: I speak riches. I hear riches. I become what I repeat with faith. Again with fire. I speak riches. I hear riches. I become what I repeat with faith. This is not child's play. This is the sacred discipline of wealth. You are not here to entertain yourself. You are here to recondition yourself, to shift the current of your destiny. The man who says he is rich, who feels it, believes it, and walks like it, before the money arrives, is the man who will inevitably become rich. Why? Because his subconscious already accepted the outcome, and the outer world must follow. Each time you speak your aim aloud, your magnetism strengthens. Each time you declare abundance in the face of lack, you prove your worth to receive. Each time you repeat belief despite appearances, you rise above the mass of drifters. But you must endure. You must press through the awkwardness, the inner resistance, the doubt. These are not signs of weakness. They are signs of transformation. You are not lying to yourself. You are rebuilding yourself, evicting the old poverty identity, moving in the man who commands wealth. Post this where you see it daily. My mind obeys my voice. My voice speaks wealth. This is law. Obey it, and it will obey you. Stand taller. Speak clearer. Walk as one who has chosen belief, and never again leave the state of your mind to chance. Part 5. Poverty begins in fear. Burn the root. No man can attract wealth while ruled by fear, not because wealth is cruel, but because fear repels abundance. It dims imagination. It muddies decision. It delays action. It paralyzes faith. And above all, it signals to the subconscious, I am not safe to receive wealth. Fear is faith twisted in the wrong direction. It is belief in misfortune, expectation of judgment, a conviction that lack is your fate, and your subconscious never argues. If you imagine scarcity, speak doubt, and dwell on failure, your inner world prepares for poverty, and poverty, being obedient, arrives. There are 6 ghosts of fear that rob men of power. I have taught them before. I will repeat them again. Robs: fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of poverty, and fear of ill health, robs fortune, fear of old age, robs, fear of death. But standing guard at the gates of riches is the fear of poverty. It must be destroyed. Let's expose it. It shows up when you hesitate to invest in your mind. It rises when you envy the wealthy or criticize them in secret. It stirs when you say, I can't afford that, or money is hard to come by. These are not harmless phrases. They are affirmations of lack, and lack is what they produce. The man who fears poverty will never believe in riches, and what he cannot believe, he cannot possess. Riches demand boldness, inner conviction, the ability to walk with confidence, even when your wallet is empty, because belief always comes first. You must destroy fear, not with logic, but with action, repetition, faith, and association. Action: move boldly, even when uncertain. Fear dies in forward motion. Repetition: speak your affirmations louder when doubt creeps in. Do not let fear speak unchallenged. Faith: strengthen belief daily through visualization and auto-suggestion. Association: surround yourself only with believers. Doubters will poison you. Ridicule must be removed. Your circle must be a mastermind, not a pity party. Think of John D. Rockefeller. He made massive decisions in uncertain times. He invested while others hoarded. He moved by vision, not approval. He gave himself permission, and the world followed. You must do the same. Do not wait for the world to remove fear. Remove it yourself, and the world will adjust. Hear this law. Faith and fear cannot live in the same mind. One must dominate.
Every time you act despite fear, you tip the scale toward faith. Every time you speak belief in the face of doubt, you weaken fear's grip. Every time you persist without visible results, you deepen the roots of wealth. Say this aloud with fire. I fear nothing. I am wealth in motion. Say it again. I act despite uncertainty. Keep saying it until fear takes a step back. I fear nothing. I am wealth in motion. I act despite uncertainty. You may not feel it yet, but you are becoming it. Every repetition drives the command deeper into your subconscious. Every courageous step rewires your mind. You are not pretending, you are programming. You are replacing a fearful identity with one of absolute purpose. Burn every phrase rooted in fear from your vocabulary. Never say, what if I fail? Say instead, what if I succeed beyond all imagination? Never say, I'm not sure if I can. Say, I decide, I act, I grow through motion. This is how the wealthy think. And wealth is drawn to the mental climate you create. Write this down. Speak it every morning. Fear does not rule me. I rule my mind. I command my destiny through decision and belief. Do not blame your past. Do not blame your upbringing. Do not blame the economy. The only thing that ever blocked your wealth was the invisible wall of fear, and now you're tearing it down. Stand tall. Burn the root. Now we advance. Part 6. The mastermind opens the gates of abundance. No man, no matter how brilliant or driven, creates lasting wealth alone. The realm of riches does not respond to the isolated and prideful. It responds to the law of harmonious alliance. It responds to the mastermind. This is no theory. It is spiritual law. and it has created more fortunes than labor ever has. The mastermind is the alignment of two or more minds in perfect harmony, united in pursuit of a definite aim. When this force is activated, it multiplies your power beyond measure. It opens the gates to infinite intelligence. It births new ideas. It strengthens your resolve. It crushes obstacles too great for one man to bear. One mind plus another, joined in desire and belief, becomes the power of 12. It becomes genius. It becomes magnetism. It becomes unstoppable. This is why I taught it in Think and Grow Rich. Because without the mastermind, desire cools, faith weakens, and plans collapse. You must now ask, who strengthens my belief? Who challenges me to think higher? Who speaks the language of wealth, decision, and service? If your circle is filled with drifters, doubters, and destroyers of dreams, separate, not out of arrogance, but out of alignment. Wealth is a climate. If your environment is cold with fear and thick with mediocrity, no seed of riches can grow. But if you plant yourself in fertile ground, surrounded by minds lit with belief and driven by action, your vision becomes reality. Think of Edison, Ford, and Firestone, men of power and purpose. They met not for leisure, but to sharpen one another. They formed a mastermind. Their conversation sparked innovation, creation, and massive contribution. Birds of wealth fly together. You must join them. Do not underestimate the power of association. Your subconscious does not judge your circle. It only absorbs their language. If your friends complain, you will complain. If they fear, you will fear. But if they believe, persist, and act, you will rise. Now hear this. The mastermind is not always found. It is often formed. Start with one person of vision. Share your aim. Speak daily. Stay focused. Do not allow idle chatter. Keep the flame alive with purpose. From one, others will come. Soon you will form a circle of power. Protect your mastermind. Guard its energy. No gossip. No fear talk. No confusion. The moment doubt enters, the force fractures. But when harmony is maintained, it becomes your wealth engine. Say this aloud. I think with the great. I unite with the wise. Together, we multiply wealth. Again, I think with the great. I unite with the wise. Together, we multiply wealth. If no one has yet appeared, begin with this teaching. Let these words become your daily counsel until living, breathing allies appear. Speak these truths. Repeat them daily. In doing so, you align with the rhythm of wealth, and wealth responds to those who match its frequency. Look for men and women who act on decision, not emotion, who plan, not wish, who build, not drift. These are your people, and if they do not appear, become that man, they will come. Write this where you'll see it daily. I form my mastermind with intention. I align with those who believe. I am never alone. I am united in power. This is the sixth gate. When it opens, the flood of riches begins. But you must take the step. You must find and walk with those who match your vision, because together you will do what no one could do alone. Part 7. Become the man who can hold great riches. Wealth does not pour into the life of the man unprepared to carry it. Riches obey the law of suitability. They flow to those who have expanded their capacity to receive. This truth cannot be skipped. You must become the man who fits the wealth you seek. If you have not received it yet, it is not because you are cursed. It is not because you are forgotten. It is because life is too intelligent to give spiritual power to the undisciplined, the resentful, or the unready. Wealth is not money alone. It is influence. It is responsibility. It is spiritual weight. If you fall under light burdens, how will you carry massive wealth? You must build yourself into a vessel of abundance. And it begins with thought. You cannot house great riches in a mind full of doubt, envy, guilt, or confusion. The man who speaks against wealth cannot receive it. The man who feels unworthy will sabotage it. The man who blames others cannot be trusted with dominion. To become worthy, you must choose to be worthy. Say this to yourself now. I now become the kind of man who commands and carries great riches, then live accordingly, speak accordingly, walk accordingly. Identity comes before income. Woodrow Wilson did not wait to become president. He believed it first. He led in thought, in action, in posture before the world ever confirmed it. So must you. Rehearse the man you intend to become until he becomes natural. Train your identity. Let your rituals reflect your aim. Let your walk, your words, your presence rise. You are not arrogant. You are obedient to a higher vision. The poor man believes wealth will fix him. He is mistaken. Wealth reveals him. If you are undisciplined, money will magnify your chaos. If you are aimless, it will amplify your drift. But if you are prepared, it will magnify your power and your purpose. Study yourself. Ask, where am I weak? Where am I vague? What patterns disqualify me from abundance? Then wage war on those patterns. Not once, not briefly, relentlessly. Say this aloud. I am a vessel of abundance. I am large enough to hold great riches. Again, stronger. I am a vessel of abundance. I am large enough to hold great riches. Let your subconscious hear it until it believes. Repeat it with emotion. Act in harmony with it. Soon your life must reflect it. Elevate your speech. Elevate your standards. Do not chase money. Become the man money chases. You cannot pretend. You must transform. And transformation requires pain, release, decision, and repetition.
You may be mocked. Let them mock. The world doubts what it cannot yet see, but you must believe before the fruit appears. Post this now. My capacity expands daily. I build the character that commands great wealth. I am ready for abundance because I have become abundance. Wealth is not for the one who wants it. It is for the one who becomes. Rehearse, recondition, rise, grow into a man who can carry 10 times what he once thought possible. Become now, and wealth will follow. Part 8. Demand abundance daily. There is one truth that separates the wealthy from the wishful. Repetition. The world is filled with men who begin with passion, who speak with boldness, then stop. Why do most never reach wealth? Because they quit too early. They stop before belief is built. They stop before the subconscious is fully persuaded. You do not rise to riches through one-time effort. You rise by repeating the same truths, affirmations, and aim every single day until they become identity, not effort. Repeat until your voice carries authority. Repeat until your posture changes. Repeat until your thoughts obey your intention. Repeat until fear disappears. Repeat until doubt is impossible. This is oversaturation. The idea of wealth must feel so familiar to your subconscious that it becomes memory, not fantasy. Your daily rituals of speech, belief, visualization, and motion must be consistent, unyielding, until they become the environment through which you live and breathe. Speak your chief aim, not as a wish, but as a verdict. Repeat your affirmations until they sound like your natural language. Perform your morning and evening rituals with reverence. They are not routine. They are sacred weapons. They are the seeds of your next season. Say aloud now, I demand more wealth than I can spend. I expect more riches than I can count. I become the man who magnetizes millions. Again, slower, stronger. I demand more wealth than I can spend. I expect more riches than I can count. I become the man who magnetizes millions. Do not fear these words. They are not vanity. They are faith in action. You are not declaring pride. You are declaring alignment with abundance. Infinite intelligence responds to those who speak clearly and act accordingly. The average man gives up before belief sets in. He tries for a week, then forgets. He doubts the process. He slips back into drift. But you are not average. Now you know. Repetition is the master key. Everything you've learned, faith, autosuggestion, desire, identity, it only works if repeated. Repeat until the old self is overwritten. Repeat until wealth becomes you. Build your environment to support it. Write affirmations on your mirror. Carry your aim in your pocket. Speak to yourself while walking. Train your mind like an athlete trains muscle with precision and sweat. Listen to this daily, not once, daily, for 30, for 60, for 90 days, until you speak it like your own voice, until it echoes in your soul without effort. This is not entertainment. This is spiritual renovation, and the only cost is your decision to repeat.
Say this now. I am wealth. I speak wealth. I hold wealth. I repeat wealth until it becomes me. Once more, firmly, I am wealth. I speak wealth. I hold wealth. I repeat wealth until it becomes me. Never stop. Never waver. Never allow the old voice to return. You are reborn by truth, fortified by faith, and powered by repetition. Your future will rise to meet you, not because you begged for it, but because you trained your mind to expect nothing less than abundance. And when riches arrive overflowing, you will smile and say, of course, I built this, I believed this, I became this.